World health used to make sense. The planet was divided into two groups. There were the developed nations, the ones who had mostly eliminated infectious diseases and were focusing on chronic health problems like high blood pressure and diabetes. Then, there were the developing nations, the ones where diseases like malaria were still running rampant, and international groups measured success and how many people they could save from starvation. But then obesity started showing up in slums all over the world. Diabetes emerged as the #1 killer in Mexico. Something strange was happening to nutrition.
En México, como la mayor parte de las comunidades que se encuentran en una alta marginación, tenemos problemas de carácter nutricional por falta de, en este caso, de proteína, de consumo de cárnicos, ¿sí? Esto repercute mucho en el ingreso económico del jefe de familia. ¿Por qué? Porque de alguna manera da lugar a que la familia tenga disponibilidad de los productos básicos, o en este caso de la canasta básica.
In the race to feed the world's growing population, we have relied on cheap, highly processed, low-nutrient foods. Today, being overweight is no longer any protection against life-threatening vitamin and mineral deficiencies. As many as 30% of households suffer under the double burden of malnutrition and overweight. Access to good nutrition is a basic human right, but those living in poverty often lack the dietary qualities needed to promote good health and therefore fail to prevent chronic disease.
En cuanto a la ingesta de verduras, frutas, pues también hay cierta escasez, debido a que, pues, definitivamente al ingreso económico.
In the developing world, millions of children and adults face premature death due to health problems associated with undernutrition and overnutrition. Poverty is strongly linked with obesity and nutrient deficiencies. To gain traction on this epidemic, we need solutions that address root causes. For impoverished communities, the problem is access, not indulgence. In Mexico, a staggering 70% of adults are either overweight or obese. This is the highest rate on the planet.
Porque hemos visto este avance. Este avance es combatir con los problemas que tenemos para que tengan una mejor nutrición los niños y tengan mejor rendimiento académico y tengan buena salud. Gracias a esta implementación de bolsas familiares en cada una de las 18 comunidades y las familias indígenas conacas, y también obviamente apoyado por Fondo de México Internacional, donde nos ha impulsado a trabajar este modelo de trabajo para que tengan esa producción de autoconsumo familiar y no depender mucho de la situación de los apoyos gubernamentales que hoy en día nos han llevado a la quiebra de muchas cosas de producción en nuestra comunidad. Muchas gracias.
If we are to develop a sensible food system that makes healthy diets accessible, we must do so in Mexico first. And if we are to prevent a public health disaster, we need to do it quickly. For East Central Mexico, in the Totonac and the Veracruz regions, the crop recommended by the national government was coffee. Most farmers switched exclusively to coffee cultivation. And small-scale Totonac farms no longer had the ability to feed themselves. The health consequences have been disastrous. Indigenous Totonacos now suffer from the highest rates of malnutrition in the country. What if there was a way to restore the dignity of the Totonac farmers while improving nutritional outcomes for Mexico as a whole? VIDA is a multi-stage campaign to alleviate diet-related diseases among the Totonac people and to foster the growth of a new organic produce industry.
This VIDA project is introducing healthy diets, not just medicine, for the children and their families. This is a very interesting program because the families are doing their own raised beds, and then when they crop it, they can use it for a better nutrition.
There have been long-term studies done with large numbers of people that show that nutrition is pivotal in creating and sustaining health. And that's why this approach, this sort of more lifestyle-focused approach, is so suitable to rural areas and third world nations.
The program begins with compact, high-yield home gardens and advisory meetings with our nutritional counselors. These home gardens make fresh fruits and vegetables available to the most at-risk groups, including children, pregnant women, and the elderly.
Este proyecto va dirigido a familias de muy escasos recursos. Lo primero que vamos a iniciar va a ser con sesiones, capacitaciones, que conlleve esto a una alternativa de cómo nosotros podemos contribuir a un estado nutricional de la familia, del niño principalmente, con huertos familiares.
The markets for fresh produce have increased dramatically since the days of the coffee subsidies. A strong middle class in Mexico's cities has raised demand. More needs to be done to stimulate the supply of fresh produce. VIDA is a relief campaign with a long-term business plan.
Y en la venta de los productos para el beneficio de las familias. El cultivo del café es la principal actividad económica de la región. Sin embargo, el tener un solo cultivo es muy riesgoso, por lo que se recomienda la diversificación.
At the heart of the VIDA project is the relationship forged between family and nutritional counselor.
Lo que les haría falta a las familias es implementar en ellos lo que son las hortalizas a través de la implementación de las frutas, consumirlas, las verduras.
VIDA nutritional counselors first meet with families at community info sessions, one counselor for 10 families. These sessions include brief overviews by our advisors and allow us to interview and classify each candidate family with a socioeconomic profile. Counselors are then assigned to promising candidates. The nutritional counselor starts by visiting each family at their home and briefing them on the goals of the VIDA project. After an introductory lesson in sound nutrition, the counselor helps each family choose a location for their home garden and scales its size to meet nutritional needs. Building a garden is the next step for the VIDA families. A family of 5 will build a 12 by 12-foot raised bed garden. VIDA provides 9 different kinds of seeds and young plants, as well as mesh fencing to keep out pests. The family uses its own farming tools and manpower to prepare the raised bed. Nutritional counseling is an ongoing process. Each family receives 9 sessions of structured nutritional counseling and diet planning. As produce reaches maturity, families begin to experience the real benefits of VIDA. Harvests are incorporated into diets, unlocking the plethora of health benefits associated with fresh fruits and vegetables. Surplus yields are sold, creating a new source of income, or else retained for garden expansion. Children are involved, giving hope for Mexico's nutritional future. Families regain the ability to feed themselves. And since these are home gardens, they fall under the management of primary caregivers, who are overwhelmingly women. This puts new income into the hands of women, improving gender equality and making it more likely for funds to go towards improved nutrition and health care for children. We need your help. VIDA is a small project with big aspirations, and we need activists with all kinds of skill sets to make it happen.